Well, my name's Joshua Cartwright. As you can probably hear, I'm English. I'm an author of the Granny JJ Adventures, Guyana'S Daily Detective, and I'm also a screenwriter. And I'm here to promote the Granny JJ Adventures as a TV project. The books are about an old Creole-speaking grandmother. She lives on the East Bank down in Soesdijk, and one day she looks around and the Guyana she sees is not the Guyana she grew up with. You know, she sees an increase in petty crime and thieving and so on. And she just feels, you know what, I can't die and not do something about this. So she picks herself up and she becomes, or she decides to become, Guyana'S Daily Detective, like the most unlikely detective you could imagine. Well, about 20 years ago, I fell in love with a Guyanese woman, my wife, Glenda, and she's from Soesdijk, actually, and the books are based on her mother. And a few years later, you know, we came to Guyana, we got married here, and I just fell in love with this amazing place. The generosity of the people, just the vibrancy of the culture, you know, the wonderful sayings. I love all the Creolese sayings. And we have a little daughter called Serafina, and she wasn't born here. So we thought, you know what, we need to make something, a storybook, so she can enjoy learning about her heritage. And that's how the first book came about. Especially all over the diaspora, they like reading this, and when I mentioned things like sit-down graters and washboards and all the things which they had when they were growing up, you know, licks as well, licks like peas, as my wife would say. It gives people, families, a chance to pull together and talk about the aspects of Guyana that they loved when they were growing up.
What I love most about this project, it's very naturally Guyanese, you know. It's like when you talk about the stories in it, it's like you can see yourself living that. Except the younger generation, I don't think they have experienced this life, and I feel like this project is a really good way to introduce the past to them in a fun way. They like to watch television, or they like to watch their Facebook, or people like to watch Netflix or these things. And I feel like it's a fun way for them to learn about the past and the history and culturally how we were, and they couldn't understand how you stay like that, we can do it this way. So that's what I love most about the project. And so because of that, I see it being a successful project. You know how we used to watch like Family Matters and Desmond and these things? Well, that's the idea. We want people to be able to have fun, and I can't wait to see this series. Recently it's Bridgerton, but now the idea behind the Granny JJ Adventures is for people to be hungry and want to see it. And we have, apart from the actors will only be Guyanese actors, and we will be using local crew members, but we also have international crew members that will be coming in as well. So I feel like this is definitely a project that sponsors need to get on board with. And the Guyanese people, I know they're going to get on board with it because of the fact how it's just genuinely Guyanese.